what's happening in North Dakota is one of the most egregious things. And if a Democratic president and a Democratic, runner for the next president have no power to help these people, then what is the point of having a Democrat in office?
And by the way, Barack Obama gave a lot of lip service to Native Americans when he ran for president. He said that, of course, we have to. And by the way, the UN has a thing that we have to respect the native indigenous peoples' territory, and they have to have a voice. And so this whole thing about protecting indigenous people, we all know how important. Barack Obama gave lip service to that, and now when it comes time, just like he gave lip service to, hey, if the unions go on strike, I'm going to put on a comfortable shoe and I'll go out on that picket line. That was all bullshit.
Yeah, so Barack Obama can go there right now in North Carolina.
He can go right now to North Dakota
and just put a stop to it in 30 minutes.
The Army Corps of Engineers could just take away those permits.
Yeah. And it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
Just showing up to say hi would
be hi.
Nice.
So there's, again, stop. Don't freak out. I know it feels horrible. I felt horrible when I woke up on Wednesday morning. I felt like I feel like I'm going to throw up. But guess what happens after you throw up? You feel better. And it's going to happen quicker than people think. 2 years, it's going to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen in 2 years. Look out. And let's see. If Donald Trump governs the way people are afraid he's going to govern, it will fracture the Republican Party. They will be ineffectual, and we will have a complete takeover in 2, if not 4 years. If he governs like a sane person, then what are we worried about? Go ahead.
And look, you keep saying this. The left has to coalesce, which means we have to coalesce. So, we're going to keep doing our show. We'll get the message out, and, we're going to mobilize. We're going to send Wolfpack. We're going to send, Wes Clark and Michael Wood to North Dakota. We're going to do all these things, but, the viewers and the American population, we have to also be vigilant. Everyone has to coalesce. We have to let our voices be heard. We have to demand better from our local Democratic leaders. We got to have a full-scale revolution within the Democratic Party, completely take it over, and make it the progressive wing of American politics once again.
And we have leaders now.
Yeah.
We have people like Ben Jealous. We have Keith Ellison. We have people
Nina
like
Turner. I love
People are going to start arriving on December 3rd. I talked to Phyllis Young. They're going to provide us 2 gymnasiums at Fort Yates, which is within the reservation, to house us. Should be able to fit at least 250 people apiece in each in sleeping bags.
Sleeping bags.
You're welcome to bring a tent or a yurt and camp outside. But
sounds uncomfortable. Yeah.
Dude,
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
there's no Ritz there.
There's no Ritz, man. There's probably like a Motel 8 within
is there 4 Seasons?
20 miles. But yeah. I mean, look, you want to come out, get beaten up with us? Fucking come out and get beaten up with us.
So let me. I was going to talk to you about this off air, but real quick, let's do it on air for a second. So I did a story about explaining the whole background of Sioux Nation and who owns the land and what the treaties and all that stuff. So the drilling pad is on unceded territory of Sioux Nation.
Yeah.
So that's a treaty we had. We violated the treaty. We know we violated the treaty. We offer them compensation. We have acknowledged that we're in the wrong, right? And
we being the federal government.
The federal government. And a lot of the tribes took the money, understandable, right? Sioux Nation never took the money. And so they were offered $108 million in 1944. It got put in a trust fund. It's now worth $1.3 billion. And they still say, no, thank you. We don't want your money. We want our land.
No, they want the land.
So now...
if Jimmy Dore's in charge, they take the money.
They're taking the money for Jimmy. Okay.
Well, it's not just that land. It's additional lands that the federal government seized from 1948 through 1953 for the construction of the Oahe Dam.
For the dam, I know.
And in 1999 and 2000, congressional studies recommended that it be given back to the Sioux. It's all an executive office decision, okay? Because it's the head of the Army Corps of Engineers. He can give that land back at any time. And the president could give it back at any fucking time.
So that gets a little complicated, but it's actually overall good news that the federal government owns the water, okay? Owns the land around the water. Because that means we're in charge. The American people are the federal government, right? So we don't have to listen to the corporation. We don't have to do anything. We can make any fucking decision we like, right? And the president can make any decision he likes. Now, he won't, because that's not who Barack Obama is. And certainly Trump won't, but that's okay. That's okay. So in terms of civil disobedience, which in this case, as always, is not really breaking the law. It's enforcing the law. It's because the local authorities are breaking the law.
They are breaking the law.
First off, the pipeline company, today in The Guardian, this story right here, Dakota pipeline operator to defy Obama and push on with final phase of drilling. Right. Okay? The point, too, is the drilling pad is on Sioux Nation land. Are the Sioux going to get the entire Sioux Nation land back? Let's keep it real. Very unlikely. That is a giant tract of land in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, etc. Right? We're not going to give this enormous chunk of America back to Sioux Nation, although there isn't much there. We probably could. But anyway, one of the compromises you can reach is, yeah, but you know what the Sioux Nation would like? They'd like this fucking land, okay? And so you march onto the drilling pad. You have to get past the police barricade and walk for about 2 miles, okay? And the orders could be, we're walking to that drilling pad. That's our land, and we're going to go take it back for Sioux Nation that has been robbed for hundreds of years. The Treaty of the United States of America, our word is our bond. The law is, that is Sioux Nation. We're going to go take Sioux Nation.
There's 3 fucking words when I think of this in terms of veterans. Duty, honor, country, okay? Mm-hmm. We have a duty to make sure our country honors its commitments, period.
Yep.
Treaty, Bill of Rights, the fucking whole works. Without that, if we're not a nation of law and order, fuck it, dude. We outnumber everyone else. Period.
Yeah. Oh,
you better, the people who run in this better understand you need to honor your fucking commitments.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of the rule of law, that is not going to work out well for you, right?
For anybody.
Right. So all we're doing is, if you bring your veterans there, Wes.
They're not my veterans.
Okay.
I talked. Michael Wood emailed me something. I'm like, hey, dude, let's fucking go out there. Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can get anyone else to go out there with us and fucking like people who care, man. I mean, we the veterans, our units put these people on these lands. We violated their treaties that we had with them.
Yep. And there's no dispute over it. We did. That's why we're offering we've been offering them the money since 1944, because we violated the treaty. So my point is, imagine a great number of veterans and citizens going up to the police barricade saying, hey, listen, they are in violation of the law. We're not in violation of the law. They're in violation of the law. And we're asking you to turn around and join us. But whether you turn around and join us or you work for that private corporation, even though we're paying you your money as citizens, okay, we're paying your salary, we're going to move past this barricade and we're going to go to that land drilling pad and we're going to sit there and occupy it until we give it back to Sioux Nation, right? That's super powerful.
Okay, I have a bunch of questions. I don't understand what is happening there exactly, because at what point, I mean, is there some sort of like magic line that the protesters can't cross? And
yes.
if they do, they get beaten up and shot with rubber bullets.
Yes.
Yeah,
as rubber bullets fucking hurt, dude,
right.
And they can kill you.
And as long as you're on the other side, the cops leave you alone?
No, well, so it's a little bit more complicated than that, okay?
They don't, right? Because I saw this woman, she was just interviewing someone, and she gets shot by a rubber bullet.
So the local authorities there seem to be really deeply in the pockets of the company, okay?
Yeah.
Because there's no need for their aggression. There just is no need for it, right? So let me explain. So there's reservation land, right? And then there's private land that is, so when I say Sioux Nation land, that is in dispute only because the homesteaders came in, the American government said, I know it's Sioux Nation, unceded territory, but I'm just going to give it to the homesteaders. So now both have a legitimate claim because the federal government gave it to the homesteaders who then, through the generations passed it down, who, for the pipeline purposes, sold it to the pipeline. So they say that's private land that I own. Sioux Nation says that's treaty unceded land that I own. They're both right, okay? It's because the federal government did this stupid thing, right? So when you're looking at the land, there is that the pipe is on, they own that land, but it is also Sioux Nation land, okay? The part that the pipe is not on is just private land that is, owned by different people, okay? And then there's the reservation. And then there's this barricade that the cops put in the middle of the highway. I don't even know on what authority you can shut a highway like that down, okay? That is, crosses over a bridge. You cross over the bridge, and they put the barricade. And so that barricade is fairly arbitrary because it's not near the pipeline. It's 2 miles from the drilling pad. The drilling pad is the end of the pipeline, okay, before it crosses over the river. So maybe they put it there because they didn't want it anywhere near the drilling pad.
Right.
So they arbitrarily said, you're not crossing this line.
It's a bridge is a good place to put it.
Yeah, at the end of the bridge, a little past the bridge, right? And then there's water that you see when the guys, the water protectors went into the water and the cops pepper spray them, right?
Yeah.
That is Army Corps of Engineer land. Now, because it's the water, the Army Corps only owns the water. They don't own the land. Even though the drilling pad's half a mile from the water, they don't own that land, okay? But they cannot drill into Army Corps land, which is by the water. So when the water protectors, when the Native Americans came into the water, that's Army Corps land. Army Corps gave the local cops authority to stand on the other side of the water and say, okay, don't let them cross, okay? Now the reality is, if they cross there, nothing happens. There's nothing to cross to. It's not like the drilling pad's right there. The drilling pad's miles away. It's just symbolic. And since it's symbolic, there's no need for pepper spray. There's no need for rubber bullets.
Seriously, because once you cross there, then you have to walk 2 fucking miles.
Yeah, then
on open terrain, which takes a while.
Yeah,
and by the time you reach the end of it, you're exhausted.
Because I don't know all the details of this, obviously, but from my vantage point, this to me is one of the most egregious things that are happening right now in America.
There's no question.
Right?
There's no question.
I mean, it's like straight out of a movie where we have an evil, greedy corporation taking indigenous people land, and mineral rights are involved, and they're brutalizing the local population with like stormtrooper cops. And the government's just idly by. I mean, and then now we're going to have like veterans coming in with armed veterans coming in to help.
We're not going to be armed.
No,
there are no. I will say,
all right.
Do not bring any fucking weapons,
Just
guns,
be armed.
drugs. No fucking weapons.
I'm kidding.
No
I'm
fucking
kidding.
violence.
Okay.
None.
I hear you.
Zero.
And then they bring, I mean, it is out of a movie. Then they brought in that guy with the red bandana.
Yeah.
That had the rifle to be an instigator from the side of the Native Americans, and they caught him. Turns out he's got Dakota Access Pipeline ID. His car is registered, insured by the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Dude,
that is a literal false flag operation.
They will be there, I guarantee, within our group, and we have to check our group and make sure there's no fucking weapons, that there's no violence, anything else, because there will be, agent provocateurs. I know all our phone calls are monitored already.
Okay, so
you can hear it on the line.
So isn't that amazing, though, that one side already has all the weapons, but all of the propaganda are the protesters violent? Like, that's the framing of all of the media.
Yeah.
Are the protesters violent? No!
They're
other
praying.
side is violent.
They're praying and they're being beaten as they pray.
I mean,
that's what's happening.
The protesters literally have like little feathers and stuff, and they're praying and chanting and singing songs.
No, it's Orwellian.
No, it's mind-boggling.
It's wrong, and it has to fucking
And the
stop.
violence that's being perpetrated on them is it's like gut-wrenching to see. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
They attacked that older woman.
Yeah.
And she claimed she had a revolver. Of course, they didn't find a gun. Of course, she didn't have a gun. She had a prayer stick. There's a picture of her with the prayer stick. And they're beating this woman with a prayer stick. And you're like, and one side literally looks like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They have things that are armed.
And they cannot be hurt because they're covered in body armor
Right.
and helmets and everything else.
And they have like things that look like tanks, mine-resistant Humvees. Who the fuck is putting mines in? There's no mines, right? They talked about pipe bombs. What a fucking, that's a pipe dream. There's no pipe bombs. If there was a pipe bomb, you would have already cracked every skull in the camp.
They have
right?
an LRAD vehicle, okay? And LRAD has a sound cannon on it that puts out 160 decibels, okay? That's enough to permanently damage your fucking hearing. So by exercising your civic rights in America, you can be rendered deaf by the government for the rest of your fucking life. Think about that. That's aside from being beaten, shot at with rubber bullets, and gassed and maced in the face. Like somehow, oh, well, hey, if you're going to exercise your civil rights, you should be beaten for that. When did we decide in America that that's what should fucking happen?
Now, look.
So Jimmy Dore's point is, no Trump needed. We're already a fascist state. Both sides.
Which-
That is
one side has prayer sticks, the other side looks like the fucking stormtroopers from the Death Star. Which side do you think is the one that is practicing violence? So we've got a reporter and a cameraman there that was there last week, Jordan Taylor, right? The guy standing right next to Taylor is shooting, shooting the video, gets shot by a rubber bullet, standing right next to him, right?
And that rubber bullet can kill you, dude.
Yeah. So
that's right next to one of our guys.
yeah. So what the fuck? Why are you shooting rubber bullets into a crowd that clearly they have a lot of them had their shirts off that are clearly unarmed? You know they're unarmed. You know there's protesters.
It's just gratuitous bully violence.
It's like the Pinkertons, back in the day.
It's exactly what that is. It's exactly what it is.
Those are the Pinkertons, and so and then Barack Obama sits there and
he said he's going to let this play out.
That's the quote of the Obama administration. It encapsulates 8 years. I'm going to let it play out.
I'm not going to take a side. I'm going to let it play out, and then I'll do something.
You know what he did
Here's
for
a
8 years?
suggestion.
He let it play out. And you know what happened? Trump won. So the two things he accomplished, Obamacare and preventing the war with Iran, gone. On day one, they're going to rip up the treaty, and they're going to cancel Obamacare. So you just let it play out for 8 fucking years, and nothing happened.
I got a solution for it. Pay off the pipeline, cancel the fucking pipeline. Take the money the Sioux have that's sitting there and say, here, motherfucker, here's $500 million. Get the fuck out of here. Leave the river alone. Fucking leave us alone. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, all right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just, there's a lot of ways to reach a solution.
Yep.
But reaching that solution by saying one side's going to be able to brutalize the others while breaking the law and not just the treaties, but basic civil and human rights violations in this country, and to say that's somehow okay? Fuck no, that's not okay. It's a disgrace.
It took Jordan, our reporter, days to reach anyone in a position of authority. They've
had their phones confiscated, their cars confiscated, they're jamming signals out there nonstop.
So, so our reporter's like, look, we want to talk to the cops. We want to talk to, because we want to get your position on this. Not anything hostile. We want to say, hey, why is there a barricade here? You explain it to the citizens. That's why we're here, right? You explain, hey, that it really needs to be here. Here's why it needs to be here. You're supposed to have a spokesperson. I don't have to ask the guy manning the barricade. I know there's a chain of command. So tell me who's in charge. Let me go talk to them. Nope. I mean, what do you mean no? Do we live in a democracy or don't we live in a democracy? You are committing state violence by impeding people from going on this highway, right? But because if you get anywhere near their barricade, and you see in one of Jordan's videos, I mean, they're not even anywhere near it, right? They're like, immediately turn around, right? Otherwise, you're going to get the rubber bullets, the pepper spray and stuff. You're not even going to get the pepper spray. You're so far away, they're going to shoot you, right? With a rubber bullet or sound camera. But I'm like, okay, but I need to know why the fucking barricade is there. You've never told me why the barricade. Turn around! Who the fuck are you? I'm the citizen. I'm paying your salary. Hey, Pinkerton motherfucker, who are you? Who are you? Okay, then let's cancel their fucking salaries, right? Don't pay the cops anymore if they're not going to fucking work for us.
Do you think Hillary would have won if she had gone there and said, no, not on my watch. This shit stops now. As soon as I'm president,
She would have won if she had displayed one single act of courage.
Yeah.
One. On any subject.
That's right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the subject is. It doesn't matter if she would have won or not. It doesn't matter if it's like the most liberal thing or the least liberal thing, whatever, right? In fact, if it was the most liberal thing, 90% of Americans didn't agree with it. But she showed an act of courage there, she would have won.
Yeah.
Because it isn't about the fucking policy. It's about, are you ever going to stand up for us?
Yeah.
And the resounding answer was, no, I'm going to let it play out.
Yeah, just imagine if she had gone there and said, look, we are not going to allow corporations to basically commandeer our police force and commit state violence in our name against peaceful protesters. So it's not going to happen. Not on my watch.
Yeah, but instead, what you told people is get a life.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
No, because it's who she is.
It's who she is.
I read the Podesta emails. She's the one who insists, no, send Bill to get the $3 million from Morgan Stanley, even though I've already launched my campaign. And her staffers are like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing, right? We're in the middle of a presidential campaign. You can't take a $3 million check from a fucking bank, right? Your family can't take that. She's the one that 3 days before the launch of her campaign wanted to get a $12 million check from King Mohammed of Morocco. Doug, what are you doing? His name is King Mohammed VI. He's a foreign government going to give you a $12 million check for your foundation. She's
It's not like Morocco's awash in fucking money. They can just be given $12 million.
Right. And she's like, no. And she took it. She was going to go. She's like, okay, fine, I won't go. She sent Bill and Chelsea. And then if you ever say anything about Chelsea, God help you, right? You know that they still have David Schuster on a ban list because he said one thing about Chelsea like 8 years ago. David Schuster's not allowed to cover them, okay? Isn't that fucking amazing? But in order to get that $12 million bribe or whatever the fuck it was from Morocco, they sent Bill and Chelsea Clinton. And next thing you know, next day, $12 million, okay, for the Clinton Foundation. This is fucking sick, man. And then you pointed out, and you're the bad guy. Politico last night asked me, well, you're talking about the WikiLeaks. Isn't it partly your fault that she lost?
No, it's the fault of the people. Look, here's the other thing about the election. People, it's over. It's over. Don't hold the anger towards any group of people. Don't be angry at the fucking Republicans who voted for him. Don't be angry at people who voted Green. Don't be angry at people who voted Gary Johnson. You can split it 6 ways to Friday. She was a weak fucking candidate to start with. And the top of the Democratic Party hasn't given a shit about the average American in years.
I'm going to explode on somebody. There's no question about it. I'm going to be on TV or somewhere, okay, and they're going to tell me that what I can and cannot say about Hillary Clinton, and that is going to end poorly, okay? So now, look, don't get me wrong. Last night I did a video on Facebook where I said I had gotten home and it was like around 1:30 in the morning, and I had forgotten to say it in our 14-hour coverage. I just didn't think about it. But on my drive home, I thought about what she must feel like as a person. The reason I triggered it in my head was she didn't give a concession speech, which I thought was uncool. But then I thought, if Trump did not give a concession speech, everybody would be like, that fucking barbarian.
Dude, do you think if Trump would have won the popular vote and lost the Electoral College that he would have conceded?
No, but everybody...
Fuck no, he wouldn't have conceded.
Of course not. But then everybody would have been all over him and yada, yada.
He wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? So, then I thought, oh, shit, she's probably devastated. She woke up in the morning thinking, I'm going to be president. Yeah. Finally. And it's going to be historic. It's going to be the first female president. We're going to break that glass ceiling, and I'm going to be the person who did it. And by night, she had lost to that fucking asshole, misogynist Donald Trump. It doesn't get any worse than that.
It doesn't get any worse.
No, she has to feel like absolute fucking dog shit. But at the same time, Clinton's ruined a lot of people's lives, man.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of the conspiracy theories they've had anyone killed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, other than people that we've bombed and attacked for no reason.
Right.
And Vince Foster.
Dude, no, they did not.
Of course not. I'm kidding.
Seriously.
Yeah. No, the guy that was, had mental issues that they went back and executed on the primary trail, Bill Clinton did back in '92. Well, that was literal. But the Republicans like that. So they have to invent other killings to put on the Bill Clinton on the Clintons because the killings they do like, the Republicans like. Right? Yeah. Drone strikes, yada yada. Anyway.
That's crazy talk.
So anyway, so I said, look, man, I feel bad for her. And so I pictured her in that hotel room and just distraught. And I thought, if I was in that situation, this is my life's work, and we didn't do it, right? And we lost to the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
I could see me not being able to get out of that hotel room, right? Anybody not being able to get out of that room.
Losing an election is devastating. It's devastating emotionally.
I didn't have any problems at all with her not giving a concession speech. The concession speech, I don't know. I don't really care. You can do it the next day when you're more composed, when more votes are in, whatever. So that was fine. I was looking forward to hearing it this morning to see what she would say. I don't know. I think her speech was praised by most people. It seemed very ordinary to me. There's nothing praiseworthy or bad. She just said, we tried and we lost, and then she quoted some scripture and, whatever.
They were going to praise her no matter what she said.
Yeah.
Because she was going to do pulp no matter what.
Yeah.
She was never going to say anything interesting. Whether it's Obama, who could have gotten respect by doing this, or Hillary Clinton, who could have won by doing this, if they had led the protesters, held arms, arm in arm, and went up to the barricade and dared the cops.
That's what I'm asking Tulsi Gabbard to do with us.
Right. See, and that's interesting. And Tulsi Gabbard,
I want to talk about her in a second.
So who knows? Maybe they do something to Tulsi Gabbard. If Hillary Clinton in her pantsuit walked up to that barricade, here's what it would have happened. The sea would have parted. There is no way they're firing a rubber bullet at Hillary Clinton. No way. No, they're not making Hillary Clinton deaf. They're not doing any of that shit, right? The sea would have parted. She would have walked 2 miles to the drilling pad and said, "This is Sioux Nation land." Over. Wins in a fucking cakewalk. By the way, don't get me wrong, Fox News would have been like, "You fucking, didn't see, she's not on our side, she's on their side, blah, 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 blah."
No.
And the message that people would have heard? Oh, look at that, she's fighting for somebody.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for me, she's fighting for somebody.
Not only that, the optics are great because she's winning, right?
And she wins.
She's wins because she's going through a sea of cops, and they're all moving for her. Like, so everything is good.
That's an image of power.
It's an image of power.
It's an image of justice
and victory, right?
and fighting for the downtrodden. Okay, that his self guy, he might even look at that like, "Nah, I don't agree with that." But, you know what I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. And so, by the way, if she actually cared, and this is why we're 100% right, because she doesn't care at all. If she actually cared, she could do that today. She lost, so what? What's stopping her? Okay, yeah, if you cared about the issues and you care about people.
And why can't Barack Obama?
That doesn't have anything to do with
Dude,
being
Barack
president.
Obama could go out there on Air Force One with a fucking piece of paper and sign it and say, "Look, motherfucker, I just gave it back. Boom, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. No, Obama doesn't. Yeah.
Why can't he's a lame duck? I mean, he's done. He's done.
Because he wants to make more money.
That's exactly right. That's right. Because he wants to be buddies with all the corporations.
How fucking cool an image would it be? But to the establishment, it wouldn't be a cool image. He'd be eating the steak with the salad fork or whatever the fuck, right? They'd be like, now you're with them? This is silly.
And why does he need more money anyway?
This is radical, right? This is weird. He's being weird on his way out. He's having psychological issues. That's what they would fucking say. They'd say that, right? Oh, he's lost it a little bit at the end, right? But to the rest of us, to the rest of the whole fucking country, if Obama came out just calmly, went up to the police barricade and said, "Hey guys, I got news for you. Turn around. Don't face this way, face that way. They're violating my order to not drill. Go arrest them."
Well, first of all, they're state law enforcement, so
I
they have to
know,
listen to the government.
But trust me that if the president is there.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question.
Yeah.
Barack Obama could solve this in 30 fucking minutes.
Yeah. There's no issue at all. There's 1,000 ways he can solve it. He can say, okay, by treaty they have this land. I'm giving it back to them. Here's the executive order on that. And by the way, I brought the National Guard with me. Anybody want to argue? Okay, get the fuck off the land. Okay.
Yeah. Again, I mean, to me, that is a microcosm of America, right? Corporations are in charge. Government does their bidding. Regular people get beaten up and down. They're just downtrodden. It's it. I mean, this is what it is.
That's why I brought up all the way at the beginning of this show, and we got to wrap it up here.
Yeah, we do.
In Network, Ned Beatty's character says, there's no countries left. There's only corporations. And that's what it is. And that was all the way back in the 1970s, man. They had that shit figured out.
Oh, dude, listen to Gil Scott-Heron's song "B Movie," 1981. Man, he lays out everything we've gone through in the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. People. It's not that they need to wake up; they need to get off the fucking couch. I have enjoyed seeing people get out and protest today. Just for once, turn off the fucking Netflix. Turn off your computer. Go outside. Connect with other people. It is time. It is a fucking historic time that we're about to enter right now. And every fucking person who cares about this country and loves it needs to get out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a pretty serious edition of Old School, but the times called for it, and so listen to Wes, okay?
I hope you come with us, dude.
So at a minimum, Wes, we're going to send a reporter because you know how life is.
No, I know how it is.
If there isn't a camera, it didn't happen, right?
I know.
And we'll get it up on the air, and we'll get everybody to see it, and then we'll see with my schedule and stuff. But you kidding me? I love going to that stuff, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we'll report back to you guys on plans on that as soon as we have.
And by the way, I love Michael Wood Jr. I'm glad he's
awesome.
He's fucking balls to the wall.
Yeah, he was right next to me when I got arrested at Democracy Spring, and he's for those of you who don't know, he's a former Baltimore cop, and he had his
an ex-Marine.
Right.
He's a badass.
He is, and he had his cop's badge on him around his neck. So when the cops come to arrest him, and they're like, "Oh, okay, be cool." Right?
He's fucking awesome.
He
I
is awesome.
really
I
adore
love
that
him.
guy because
I love
he served the country. He was a cop, and he's a good guy. He really cares. He doesn't want to. He's not on any of those weird violent power trips that some of the cops are on. He's just a good, decent guy. So it's super cool that you and Michael are doing that together, Wes. I'm really proud
Michael's
of you guys.
got huge fucking balls.
I'm proud to know you guys. It's fucking
that's
awesome.
a cool combo, man. Wood and Clark,
Yeah.
Deadwood and Cavalry.
It's fucking awesome, man.
Come out there with us, dude.
I'll ask my wife.
All right.
Here's who doesn't have the nickname Cavalry. Fucking Steve out.
Look, I'll go there, and if a cop puts his face inside the window of my car, I'll kick it.
And you know what you
But
say?
no, because it's no. Listen, what we aim to do out there is not,
I'm not fighting
use
a cop.
veterans to fight cops.
No,
What
of
we're
course.
doing out there is the equivalent of what Gandhi did with the SALT protest.
Yeah.
We are there to be beaten. We're not there to hurt people. We're there to show you how fucked up the state of things is.
Okay, but if you do put your head in Steve's car, you have entered the Ozone.
Nice.
I fight people at the Bel Air Beach Club. I don't fight cops in Standing Rock.
I don't fight anybody.
Yeah, look, I it's a weird thing to end on, but my favorite line of me is when I wrote in a piece a long time ago. It doesn't take courage to throw a punch; it takes courage to take a punch.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
And I've got my ass kicked enough times.
Me too, brother. Me too.